Solitude frightens most people, not only physical solitude, but inner solitude, the kind where you cannot hide behind distractions, other people's opinions, or constant noise. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that this solitude, although uncomfortable, was indispensable for anyone who truly wanted to become who they are. Nietzsche did not see solitude as a punishment. He saw it as a field of transformation, a space where you are forced to confront your own ideas, your own contradictions, your own fears. No audience, no external approval, no social mass, just you and yourself. Most people avoid this encounter. They fill silence with noise, emptiness with distraction, restlessness with entertainment, because being alone with yourself can be deeply unsettling. You begin to notice things you would rather not see: insecurities, dependencies, false beliefs, desires that are not truly yours. Nietzsche said that to create something real in life, you must first step away from the crowd, not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. According to him, the crowd tends to level everything downward. It rewards conformity. It punishes originality. It discourages deep thinking. That is why anyone who wants to think for themselves must at some point learn how to be alone. But the solitude Nietzsche defended was not permanent isolation. It was a chosen solitude, not an imposed one. A temporary retreat to listen to your inner voice, to distinguish what you truly think from what has simply been implanted in you. There is a famous quote from Nietzsche: "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you." This speaks directly to inner solitude. When you step away from the world and look deeply within, you find light, but you also find shadows. And this encounter is inevitable. Many people say they want to change their lives, but few are willing to pass through the solitude required for real change. Because to change truly means questioning: who am I without my distractions? Who am I without approval? Who am I without other people's expectations? These questions can be uncomfortable, but they are liberating. Nietzsche believed that much of human suffering comes from living lives that are not truly our own. We follow paths others have laid out. We adopt values we never consciously chose. We repeat patterns without reflection. Solitude forces us to stop and ask, is this really what I want? There is a rare kind of courage in learning how to be alone. Courage to face your thoughts without running from them. Courage to sustain silence without immediately filling it. Courage to realize that perhaps you are not who you always believed yourself to be. Nietzsche also spoke about the idea of becoming who you are. This does not mean discovering a fixed, finished, true self. It means sculpting yourself consciously, choosing values, taking responsibility, creating meaning, accepting contradictions. And this is only possible when you spend time with yourself. Modern society, however, fears solitude. It keeps us busy, always connected, always comparing, always reacting. Few moments of real silence. And without silence, there is no depth. Without depth, there is no self-knowledge. Perhaps this is why so many people feel lost, not because they lack information, but because they lack an encounter with themselves. Nietzsche would suggest that this discomfort is not a problem to eliminate, but a sign of growth. Solitude can hurt. It can bring up regrets, doubts, old fears, but it can also reveal something precious, what truly matters to you, without noise, without distractions, without external pressure. Perhaps today you could try something simple: yet profound. Set aside a few minutes with no phone, no music, no conversation. Just sit with yourself. Observe your thoughts without judging them immediately. Ask yourself, where am I living to please others? Where am I running from myself? In which moments do I feel the strongest urge to distract myself? Not to criticize yourself, but to begin seeing clearly. Nietzsche believed that the strongest individuals are those who can tolerate their own company, not because they do not need others, but because they do not depend on them to exist. They choose their relationships. They do not lose themselves in them. Solitude, when lived well, does not make you poorer. It makes you deeper. It returns you to yourself. It reminds you that you are not only what others see, but something far more complex and vast. Perhaps the greatest challenge in life is not to conquer the world, but to conquer the fear of being with yourself. Because it is in this silent space that you slowly begin to become who you truly are.